I've been waiting a long time to say this. Michigan football starts this week. The Wolverines kick off on Saturday, September 3rd against Colorado State. Currently, the line is Michigan favored by 31.5. It started at 27.5. At the time of recording this video, it's moved up to 30.5 or 31.5, depending on what you're looking at. Today, we're going to be doing a little matchup preview and prediction. Now, the big news for Michigan football recently is, of course, the quarterback update that Harbaugh gave, where he said Cade McNamara is going to start week 1, and J.J. McCarthy is going to start week 2. Did we expect anything conventional from Jim? I mean, this is right up his alley. And actually, it seems pretty cool to me. I'm down with it. I think I'll probably make a separate video about that, addressing some questions I have about it. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to see that video. Obviously, Michigan is coming off its best season in a long time, probably its best season since 1997. They went 11-1 in the regular season, with their only loss coming to Michigan State in a close one that the refs definitely didn't help, but Michigan definitely could have still won. The victory over Ohio State, the victory over Iowa in the Big Ten Championship, and the brutal loss to Georgia in the playoff, but still a great year for Michigan, a year that they look to build on. As for Colorado State, it wasn't such a great year. Last season, Colorado State went 3-9, with their only wins coming against Toledo, San Jose State, and New Mexico. Colorado State wrapped up last season by being smacked down 52-10 by Nevada. Following that loss, they fired their head coach Steve Addazio, and they hired Jay Norvell, who was the head coach of Nevada. I mean, hiring the guy that just destroyed your team isn't the worst strategy in the world, right? Wonder if that means that Ohio State's looking to hire Harbaugh. Norvell is the 24th coach in the history of Colorado State football, and he's excited to bring his air raid offense to the Rams.
You know, we play a wide open style of football. I've been in the league for 5 years. Yeah. And just when the opportunity came to be able to come to CSU, I really felt like it was the right thing for us.
One thing to note here is that Nevada had the 6th best passing offense in college football last season and the number 17 overall scoring offense. Norvell is bringing his same offensive coordinator to Colorado State. According to this article on Mountain West Wire, Colorado State's going to have 59 newcomers on the roster, a few of those coming from Nevada, where Norvell was. Steve Addazio, the guy who was there before Norvell, was only there for 2 seasons, so there are players on the roster right now who are about to play for their 3rd head coach. They did lose their tight end, Trey McBride, to the NFL. He was a 2nd-round draft pick, and their quarterback from last season also transferred out. Looking at Colorado State's schedule from last season, they finished on a 6-game losing streak, including giving up a total of 102 points in their last 2 games. So I don't think Michigan is going to have a whole lot of trouble moving the football in this team. This article from MLive says that Norvell brought his air raid offense and some transfers, like I talked about. One of those being quarterback Clay Millen, who's a 4-star recruit, threw a couple passes as a freshman last season, but he figures to be the starter for the Rams this year. Norvell says about his quarterback, Clay is a really smart player. He's kind of your thinking man's quarterback. He understands how to use the offense, and he's just really starting to feel comfortable playing. Wide receivers Tony Horton and Melquan Stovall, who combined for 108 catches and 1,302 yards, plus a running back Avery Morrow, also came from Nevada, and the starting offensive line could feature 4 transfers, including 2 from Nevada. So I think Michigan is going to be playing a Colorado State-Nevada hybrid. Colorado State did share one opponent with Michigan last season. That was Iowa. They only lost by 10 to Iowa, though, and we know what happened in the Big Ten championship game there. The only other time that Michigan played Colorado State was in 1994. Michigan won by 10 points. So there's your fun fact of the day. This game really shouldn't be close. I think the only way that it is close, even for a while, is if Michigan turns the ball over a lot. And if Cade is going to be the starter for this game, I don't see that happening. You take a team that was 3-9 last season, you bring in a new coach, new players, new offensive and defensive scheme. I just don't think the first game you want to play is against a team who went to the playoff last season. Michigan should have more talent than Colorado State at pretty much every position on the field. I think it's quite possible that Colorado State scores a couple times. I mean, that's just the nature of the air raid offense. They're going to throw it who knows how many times. Things that I want to see from Michigan are a dominant pass rush. I want to see what the pass rush looks like compared to last season. I want to see how the DBs play against the pass-heavy attack. And Sainristil in the slot, how's that going to look? I would love to see Cade take a step forward. You know, we all talk about JJ taking a huge step forward between freshman and sophomore, but Cade only started last season. That was his first full year as a starter, so he might take a big step forward too. I would love to see that. That would be great for quarterback competition. We know about the losses of Hutchinson and Ojabo, but I also think Haskins could be a big loss. I want to see what Michigan looks like running the ball between the tackles. I have all the confidence in the world in Corum and Edwards being an elite backfield, great at catching passes, really elusive runners, but I want to see what 3rd and 2 looks like. I want to see if they're able to run the ball between the tackles, get those tough yards, because that's going to be something that's probably sorely missed, is being able to rely on old number 25 to get the job done. Time for a prediction. I just don't see it being close. I do think that Michigan will cover. I'm going to go 52-14. I think Colorado State might score on a couple of blown coverages or something like that. So we'll go 52-14. I'm not going to bet on the game, but I do think that Michigan will cover. I'm curious to see what the offense is going to look like. It's going to be an audition for Cade for the starting job, so I kind of expect it to be a balanced attack. I'm so ready for the season to start. I know you are too. Make sure to hit subscribe because I got a lot more Michigan content coming. Go Blue.